Alright folks, we've got some Knull gameplay in Necropolis in today's video. I recently did my first path. I am going to be doing a follow-up video going over my team and how it went, as well as the rewards opening and my first rank 3, all that kind of stuff. But I did want to get this short video out quickly. As many of you may know, Knull was my first rank 5 champion. I got the Cosmic Gem from EOP, and I did specifically rank him up for long-form content because I knew at some point more stuff would be coming out. So I was a little disappointed when it looked like he wasn't going to be that good for Necropolis. But I did still want to try him because on paper this Guardian matchup looked really good. And what ended up happening is I went in and took the fight sort of like you would in Abyss, which is sort of just like parry heavy, build up to like 50 or 60 of your living Abyss, then throw your special 3 and then try to do damage. But what I found happened was that I was already at like the halfway point of the timer by the time I got my special 3 off, and then I was barely able to do any damage because this is a time-based enrage, and I feel like the sort of sit back and like throw a heavy every once in a while type of enrage that was in Abyss was a lot better for him for that play style. So I still kind of believe that he would work. And basically what I'm going to show you next is what happened when I went back into the fight when he had like 87 or 88% health left, and I changed up my strategy. And let me just tell you, it absolutely worked. So the point of this video is that I was kind of experimenting here because I haven't seen too much of Knull and Necropolis yet. And I was trying to kind of figure this out as I went. So it wasn't the ideal rotation at the beginning. But then when I went in for the second time, I do think that what you're about to see here is something that could work as sort of like a generalist in this content, like where you may want to use Aegon or Strife. I don't see this necessarily being stopped except for some trap nodes. So instead of doing anything too crazy, I'm basically parrying and doing medium heavy. That gives you the most amount of symbiote attacks so that you can start getting your living Abyss up. And then we're just going to throw the special 3, not when we, get like 50 or 60. We're just going to basically get to the special 3, have him lower his power to close to 0, and then sort of whatever we have, we're just going to go. And then you're going to just see like this onslaught of damage. It's kind of nuts. Now, there aren't that many 5 stars in there's not that many 6 stars in the game that can dish out solos or like the amount of damage to solo a champion. Like even Aegon isn't necessarily soloing fights, like Strife isn't going to be able to solo fights. I was so freaking early on that mini game, but don't mind that. But I do think that Knull and Kate Bishop are some of the champions that do have the potential to do so. And what I'm doing here is I'm not doing anything too fancy. I am just throwing strikers, and I'm trying to basically throw special ones, because what the special ones will do is they'll take the armor breaks, they'll turn them back into living Abyss, and then it will put another corruption timer on, and then when the corruption timer hits again, then those living Abyss turn into armor breaks. So basically we're always going to be in corruption, and he has reduced combat power rate while we're in corruption so that we're going to be able to be hyper aggressive. And that's really the thing with Necropolis, is being hyper aggressive so you can get specials off, you can get strikers off, and you're seeing like our basic hits are doing a ton of damage. I don't think the instant bleeds are doing that much, but just of note, when you do use your sword attacks, which are the light attacks, it will actually like pause the corruption a little bit. So you saw we did kind of lose corruption uptime for just a little bit there, but we're already up to 71 armor breaks, right? So there's really no need to get to like 99 armor breaks before you throw the special 3, because if you just spam special 1s, you kind of get into this loop where you're just able to keep them in the corner, and then like I was saying, you're kind of alternating armor breaks with living Abyss, and there we go, we got another corruption up. So now we're up to like 75, and we're just gonna throw the special 1s. Now the special 1s also, based on how much damage you do, I believe they will heal you. So you can see that we did not start this fight at 100% health, but we're back up to 100% health. And if we just sort of keep this rotation going, then we're going to just stay at 100% health. So at this point, I'm looking at my timer and, you know, I'm realizing that we haven't hit the midway point yet. And I've already taken off about 20% damage. And I'm thinking in my head, like, how much can I actually squeeze out of this guy? You know, I was not expecting to take him all the way down to 0 because the first run went so poorly. But I really do think that I discovered something here where if you're going to use Knull in the Necropolis, get up to like 45 or so of your Living Abyss and then just spam special ones. You can see, just take a look at his power bar. Because of all these debuffs on him, he is not gaining that much power, which makes it pretty easy to bait the special one. And especially now that he's in the second phase, if you have a champion like Guardian who is pretty easy to dex at the wall like that, it doesn't really matter with the root, because, you know, then we just stay close to him, we bait the specials, and we go. So now we're approaching 50% health already. We've basically had corruption up the whole time, and our debuffs, you know, are getting a little low, so we're about to lose a little bit of damage here. But fortunately, they did all convert, so we're back up to 75. And, you know, the goal is to try to keep those armor breaks close to 75 or so. And, you know, the way to do that is just spam special ones. So anyway, that's all I have to say about this. I want you guys to watch the end of this clip because the finish was absolutely insane. We did get him down to 0 before we ran out of charges, and I was pretty impressed. I was pretty impressed by this. And just look at our health, how we're already basically at 100% health. And yeah, I'm going to be scouting some more paths in the future to see if he's actually viable, because this doesn't look like it's going to be that difficult to keep up with a lot of the trap nodes. Like, I do think denying them combat power, doing huge damage on basic hits like this is going to have some value in Necropolis. So take it as you will, take a look at it, and let me know what you think. Do you think that I'm going to be able to use him on some other paths? Because I basically brought him in for just this one fight, and then I was kind of like, man, I kind of feel like I should have been using him a little bit more. So anyway, I'm going to let this play out. Do tune into the channel a little bit later this week, where I'm going to be going over the rewards opening and all that, and I hope you have a great day. So thanks for checking it out, and I'll catch you in the next one.